What's going on, everybody? I am that driving guy, and my office gets me where I'm going. If this is your first time, go ahead and subscribe, hit the bell, and hit all. That way, you're notified every time I drop a video. And don't forget to check the description box for some essentials that can help you along the way as you're out there dashing. So, this video is basically about how you can choose the most high value offers. So this is really a video about being able to discover which orders are possibly high value orders and have more accuracy of discovering those orders more often. So before I get started, I do want to say that there are no right or wrong orders. Whichever order fits into your needs, your goals, your objective is going to be the right order for you. No one knows what your goals are. So if you want to take every order that comes across your screen, that's fine. If that works for you, then continue to do that. I would not discourage people who take lowball orders because then that makes it so I don't have to take a lowball order. And the main objective is for the customer to get their food. And that's what it's all about. So if you do accept an order, you should be willing to deliver that order and complete that delivery no matter what. So as I said, no right or wrong. If you take low orders, that's cool. Now, if you are someone who likes to cherry pick, there's nothing wrong with that either. You can continue to do that. The reason why Doordash does not show the tips is their way of trying to prevent people from cherry picking. So they only show the guaranteed minimum amount that you're going to receive once you complete the order. Say, for instance, you're in an area and there's a lot of dashers and everybody is cherry picking. That's going to take away from other dashers being able to get high value orders. So if you are someone who likes to cherry pick, that's cool because I cherry pick. There's an amount that I'm going to accept because that's what fits into my needs and helps me meet my goals. So let me get into it. There are four things that you are going to need to pay attention to in order to select high value orders. So the first two things that you look at together are going to be the payout and the mileage. So the payout is going, as I said, is going to be the minimum amount that you are going to receive when you complete this order, this delivery. Now, unless the customer cancels the order, you are not going to receive anything less than that payout amount that you see. Okay? So if that amount is an amount that you are willing to accept to complete this delivery, then you look at the mileage. Now, there are a couple of different things to pay attention to when you're looking at the mileage. So not only are you looking at the payout mileage ratio, a lot of people like to use a barometer of between $1 and $2 per mile when they're calculating whether an order is worth them driving to it. So if the payout is more than the mileage by either between $1 and $2, then it's usually a pretty decent order. Okay, but along with the mileage, you also want to pay attention to the map. The map can provide you with a lot of information. For instance, it shows you where you are, where the restaurant is, and also where the customer is. So paying attention to those details with the mileage, you're able to see whether or not you're going to have to drive the majority of the miles to the restaurant or to the customer. You're also able to find out if when you drop the order off, whether or not it's going to take you out of your delivery zone. If it is going to take you out of your delivery zone, how far out of your delivery zone? So those are things that you need to pay attention to because these are things that are going to help you be able to identify a higher value order. Now, the next two things are probably the more important things to identify whether or not an order is going to have a tip or whether or not it's going to be a high value order. And those things are the number of items in addition to the restaurant. Now, the number of items is important because that kind of gives you an idea as to what the total of the order may be. I'll give you an example. Let's just say you had 20 items and the restaurant is for Taco Bell. Doordash counts every item individually. So 20 items at a Taco Bell could possibly be one food item and 19 sauce packets. And I know that you all have had that happen to you before. If you've had that happen, give me a thumbs up, hit the like button if you've had that happen before. But that just goes to show you why you need to look at both of those things and how important it is. 20 items, even if they were all food items, even if it was all food items and it was 20 items, it's less likely for those items to total up to at least $100. 9 times out of 10, it's going to be under $100, even if it were 20 items, 20 food items at a Taco Bell. Compare that to 20 items at the Cheesecake Factory is more likely to be a total amount of over $100 or at least $100. So 9 times out of 10, that order is going to include a tip despite whatever the payout shows. So I'll give the example that I had. So I received an order for $7. Now I would usually decline these types of orders because I usually have a certain amount that I accept. $10 is usually what I accept per order. So this order first did not meet that first criteria of being what I would accept. And then I looked at the mileage, and I believe it was about 10 or 11 miles. And that definitely did not match my criteria. So I really was sitting there thinking about whether or not I should take the order. And then because it took a little while to load, then the number of items popped up. Now it was 20 items and it was for the Cheesecake Factory. Now, even with the mileage, I looked at where I was. I was probably maybe about 5 miles from the restaurant. And then the rest of the miles was driving to the customer. But it was 1 second left before I accepted the order. And the reason that I accepted it was because of the number of items and the restaurant. Paying attention to those two things let me know that 20 items coming from this restaurant was more likely to be a more expensive order. The total was going to be more, and 9 times out of 10, I was going to receive a tip for this order. And sure enough, upon completing the delivery, even though the payout showed $7, I ended up getting $36 total once I completed the delivery. So that's why you have to pay attention, because even if the payout is less than the mileage, sometimes the items in the restaurant can kind of make up your mind and help you to determine whether or not this is going to be a high value order. So those are the things that you would need to focus on when it comes to choosing high value orders. If you are looking to receive high value orders and pick more high value orders, then follow those 4 tips and you're going to be able to become more accurate and receive these offers more often. So I hope that you all got some value from this video. As always, I appreciate y'all, and until next time, I'ma holler.